Hello everyone, hope all of you are doing great. So in this presentation I am going to introduce you to the SHODAN. This presentation is made for those who are either complete beginner to the information security or even if you are at the intermediate level. Hopefully by the end of this video you will learn something interesting about the SHODAN. So let me just begin the presentation with the quick overview of this whole presentation. I will start with the basic introduction about the SHODAN, how does it actually work and how it's actually different from our traditional search engine like Google and Bing. Then we will look how we can use SHODAN. So we can use SHODAN with our command line interface and with web interface as well. So we are going to take a look for both, that how we can use SHODAN in both modes. Then we will move ahead with the SHODAN docs. So SHODAN docs are actually like Google Docs. Like we use Google Docs to find sensitive information regarding to our target. In the same way, we can also use SHODAN docs to find specific information related to our target. And then we will combine the SHODAN docs with our SHODAN filters so that we can get only specific result or the limited result that we want with regard to our target. And at last we are going to discuss about the automation for the SHODAN as well. So for that part we are going to take a look into a tool which is named as Karma version 2. So this tool is created by a well-known information security expert, Dheeraj sir, and this tool is fabulous for our purpose, and we are going to take a look into this tool so that we can improve our SHODAN searching skill as well. And yeah, that's it for the overview part. So let me just move ahead with the basic introduction, and for that I will get back to my browser. So this is the browser, and so let's just begin the introduction of SHODAN. So SHODAN is simplest term we can say that SHODAN is a search engine, just like Google and Bing, but the purpose that it will is different. So what happens when we search something on Google, like let me just search something randomly. So yes, as you can see, when we search something on Google or Bing, then what we get as a result is web pages. Why? Because Google and search engine like Google store information about web server and web pages, and when we search something they brings us a result in terms of web pages, whereas our search engine like SHODAN store information about the every single internet connected device, or even if they are not storing about every single internet connected device, they try to store information related to every single internet connected device, either it be your webcam, your internet satellite, or it can be a router or any other device which is connected to the internet. It should, they try to get information about those. So we are done with the introduction, like what is SHODAN. So SHODAN is a search engine, as I have already told. And how does it store the information? It uses a technique called banner graving, and for in that technique they store the metadata for the each request and response they send for the internet connected devices, and then they store the information like service version, port which the service is running, and so on. So now we are clear with that what is SHODAN, how does it actually work, and how does it is different than our traditional search engines. So now we also need to create an account, but the best part about SHODAN is that they offer academic membership, like for those who belong to any institute or research related area, they can apply for the academic membership. For that, all you need to do is, when you sign up or create the SHODAN account, you need to register your email account with the institute which you belong. Like I belong to a university, so I have registered with my university email ID. And if you don't get upgraded to automatically the academic membership, then you can send an email to this email address and they will upgrade your membership if you are a legitimate user. So as you can see that I am under academic membership and this is my API key. And those of you who would be thinking of using this API key, it will not be possible because I will reset as soon as I am done with my presentation. So let me just move ahead that how we can use SHODAN. So once you log in with your SHODAN, so this is how the interface going to look like. So you can use you can search like webcam, so it will list the webcam that it can identify. So I got result about 5668. Our webcams have been identified by the SHODAN. And let's say I'm not interested in webcams, so I might be interested in routers, and for routers I'm interested in TP-Link's router, so I would search TP-Link, and then it will give me some result related to the TP-Link routers, hopefully. I don't know what is wrong. Okay, so it was my internet connection which is slow. So yeah, so this is the configuration page of some router which have router OS installed. Yeah, so at this login page I can actually Google for default login credential for the admin panel, and hopefully I will be able to get dashboard access, but I don't want, so that's it what I'm gonna do. So let's just move ahead and look at how we can use SHODAN. So this is one way we can use SHODAN. Like I can search for webcams, routers, satellite connections, and let's say I want to search for the domain related to Dell. So I will search with SSL:Dell. SSL is the certificate information, so it will list all the result now in which SSL certificate have string name Dell. So it found overall 58,000 plus result related to that. What if I give it as a Dell.com? Then the result will reduce, but let's see how much it is they are going to reduce. Okay, so now the result are approx 36,000, and it is because now it is only looking for Dell.com, but the other domain like Dell.org and maybe in some SSL certificate which belong to Dell but they don't have Dell.com in the SSL certificate, then they are now ignored. This is how we can use SHODAN on the web interface. And now let's just move ahead how we can use on the SHODAN on the web terminal. Okay, actually on terminal, not web terminal. So for that we are moving ahead with our presentation. So I am going to use SHODAN in my Ubuntu Windows System for Linux, and I have already used SHODAN. So what I actually did is type SHODAN and and immediately say that SHODAN is not installed because it was not installed at that time. And it also that, but it can be installed with this command. So I give this command and it then get installed, and you can do the same if you are trying to install it in Ubuntu or any Debian-based operating system. Hopefully this command will work fine and you will be able to use SHODAN. So now let me just type SHODAN, and when I type SHODAN, it gives me the help option, like what can I do with this, as I have not provide any command. So these are some way we can use. So alert is used, alert command is for the when we are monitoring the network traffic for particular server, then this can be used. And convert is used to convert the downloaded data to one format to another. And I'm not going to discuss about all of them as it's going to take so much time, but mainly like info command is used to get information about how much in query data or scan query data we have credit in our account. And to start using SHODAN in CLI mode, we use init command, init for the initialization. And like I want to use my account, then I need to use the API key belonging to my account. So this is the API key, and I have copied it, and now I will use it. So I will type init just after SHODAN and give a space, and then I will paste my API key for the SHODAN account, and hopefully it is successfully initialized. So now I can use SHODAN to test if it is working fine or not. I will type SHODAN info, and yes, so it tells us that I have query credit of 99 and scan credit of 100. So with academic subscription you get monthly 100 credit for query and scan, and this is quite enough for my purpose. And so we can use SHODAN and domain command to get information about particular domain, like I'm going to get information about dell.com. So like you can see that I have got a lot of information about that domain. Let's say you don't want let's say you have an IP address for a particular target and you want to see if it is vulnerable to some vulnerability or not. So what you can actually do is you can type SHODAN host command and then type the IP address for that particular server and then hit enter. And in my case there are lot of ports open in that server, and vulnerabilities that SHODAN has identified is MS17010, which is you can say the code for eternal glue. And this is how you can identify vulnerabilities related to particular host using SHODAN in terminal mode. So now we are done with our terminal overview, and let's move forward to our presentation. So SHODAN docs, and we are going to discuss about result with specific title, like we use Google. In Google we use in title, but how we can get the same kind of result with SHODAN, and we are going to look at that as well. Then we will look about status code, and then how we can find the favicon hash result. So let's just begin with the title. So so I have already searched with something like Grafana. So Grafana login panel can be found with http.title and colon and then Grafana, and it will result with us the Grafana login panel that he has found, and we can then try to log into them if they are. So as you can see, it is a Grafana login panel. In the similar way, we can look for another title as well, like maybe we are looking for phpMyAdmin. Maybe we are looking for phpMyAdmin login panel, so it will list all the phpMyLogin panel for every single IoT device that it has find that have phpMyAdmin in the title, so it will list all of them, and we get almost 49,000 results for phpMyAdmin. For Grafana it was about 80,000, and we can in similar way we can search for PHP info and PHP info page as well. This is a string, okay. So yeah, we can find these PHP info page as well by just typing PHP info in the title. And we can also use favicon hash to calculate the result. So as you can say, I have searched HTTP. For that we can use http://favicon.hash and then the hash for that particular favicon, and this hash belong to Jenkins. If you don't know, Jenkins is an automation software for which is used mainly on organization. So these have some 4034 forbidden error code, so we can combine this with 200 as well, so that we can only get result with 200. Okay, so yes, that's it, that's what we get. And now we can move ahead with favicon hash, as we can give the hash for another favicon, like we are looking for phpMyAdmin, then we will give the hash for phpMyAdmin. If you are wondering then how we'll calculate this hash, then there is a GitHub repository where you can find it easily, and like I am using the hash for Jenkins, and you can use the hash for other as well. So this is the hash that we can use for PHP, OK, Tomcat, Apache, and in all of them you will see that the title is not common, but the hash, the favicon is common in all of them, because we are searching for the particular hash. So now we have seen that how we can calculate hash for particular services, and how we can search for those particular services running on some server. So now let's just move ahead. How can we identify some server with the specific service running by using cookies. So we can use set cookies. So what actually happens is when we visit some server, so they set cookies based on the service which they are running. So what happens when the Mongo Express is running, then it set this cookies Mongo Express equal to. So we can search for this query, and it will identify the server running Mongo Express DB, and we can access those database. So now we will see that how we can combine our dork with the filters. So let's say we are going to use country filter. Let's just understand first what this query is actually doing. So this one filter actually what it does is it looks for the particular vulnerable device. So MS17010 is the code for eternal blue vulnerability. As you can see that the vulnerability identifier is named as eternal blue. So we can apply multiple filter as well. So we will apply a filter called name country, and okay, so country, and then we need to enter the top level domain for that country. For India it is in, for China it would be CM, for US it would be US, for UK it would be UK, and so on. So for India I am using in. So as you can see, the result are now reduced to 387, as only 387 device has been identified by SHODAN which are vulnerable to eternal blue. We can add another filter like city. So we will be adding another filter city colon Delhi, for Delhi city. So now let's see how many results that we get, and we got 51 results. So we got 51 results for the vulnerabilities eternal blue, and it is a remote code execution vulnerability. So we can perform remote code execution on over 50 devices which are in Delhi region, and this is how we can reduce and make our search result more effective using the more filters. There are multiple filters, and if you wanted to look for the older filters, then you can go to more, and yes, here you can see all the filters that you can apply. There is a huge list of filters that you can apply. This is why SHODAN in itself is a broad topic to understand, and with that we can now move ahead with our next topic to discuss, which is automation for SHODAN. For SHODAN automation, as we told that we can use Karma, and Karma is an open source tool. So as you can see, it is created by Dheeraj Madhukar sir, and so this is the GitHub repository for the Karma, and these are the features that it has to offer, and this is how you can install it. I will not go through the installation part as this video will become so long, so I will just take a peek into the code of this tool and how we can actually enhance our SHODAN. So we can see that there are a lot of we can use this to we can get a very good SHODAN dog list in the code of this tool. As you can see that to get the Apache status, which is an information disclosure vulnerability, we can use http title.apache status, and for directory listing as well we can use directory listing, and for it is also for directory listing like index.title or index of, and To find login panels, we can use these SHODAN docs. So if you, in case you don't understand the syntax, this is the purpose for which they are being used, and this is what the SHODAN doc is being used. And target, $target is the value for our target name. So we will only have to name that. If you are searching manually, then you will only need to search login host name, and this part will become the value of your target, like it might be del.com or anything else, whichever is your target. And you can find lot of other as well, like this one, Jenkins, and for Grafana as well, like where it is. So in case you have enough time, then I will definitely recommend you checking this out. And it is a huge list of dogs, and all of them are really interesting dogs. So if you have time, then please check them out and learn from them as well. This is how I have been learning, and this was all for this presentation. Lastly, I would share an additional GitHub thread by Simsre. So this is also an interesting thread for SHODAN docs and how we can use them. So if you have enough time, then please do check out this as well. And with that being said, I would like to say thanks, and that was it for this presentation. And if you have any doubt or query related to this presentation, then you can connect with me on these social handles, and hopefully you would have found it interesting. So